Hello and welcome to this new video here today on RDS Tech Talk. So in today's video we're going to be reviewing a different type of product. It's a type of product I've never reviewed before. Now yes, I've reviewed a lot of speakers on this channel in the past, but today we're taking a look at a soundbar, a different type of speaker, something I've never reviewed here before. And the soundbar we're taking a look at is from Hisense, and the model is the AX5100G. And with that model, you get two rear speakers, which I have behind me here. They're both there. And you also get a wireless subwoofer, which is under the desk in front of me. So I'll show you that in a little while. Now these rear speakers are both wireless. So they connect to the soundbar wirelessly, and they are what's known as rear surround speakers. So they help supply a surround sound effect, if you like, and it does a really good job of it. So yes, you get the soundbar, the two rear surround wireless speakers, and the wireless subwoofer. So let's begin by taking a look at the soundbar itself. So then, here is the actual soundbar. Now, it is a pretty big unit. As you can see, it's probably almost half my size, and I'm roughly 5'9". So you're going to want this soundbar with a reasonably sized TV. I'd say 40-inch and above, you should be fine, but I wouldn't be pairing this with something like a 24-inch TV. It'll work, don't get me wrong, but it's going to look ridiculous having such a big unit with such a small screen. So really you want 40-inch and above with a soundbar of this size, is what I'd recommend anyway. Now on the back of the soundbar, it's going to be quite hard to show you, but I'll just run through what we have. So that's our power connector there. Now it's AC power, so it's just your standard figure 8 cable. On the other side of the soundbar we have a few different ports. We've got a HDMI, which is just there. A USB port, because you can plug a memory stick into this and play files off a memory stick, just like music files for example. You've also got a optical input, if you'd rather use optical rather than HDMI to connect this to your TV. You've also got a, it's a auxiliary input, so a 3.5mm cable, which is the same kind of cable you would use for a pair of headphones, connecting them to a computer. And you've also got an analog input, which you can also use to connect it to your TV, but that's not very popular anymore. The main one these days is HDMI, but there are some people who still use optical. For example, if your TV doesn't support HDMI for sound, for example. I mean, most TVs do nowadays, but not every TV will do it. So the main ones are HDMI and optical. Like I say, you do also get analog and auxiliary, but they're not really used for TVs. It is mainly HDMI and optical these days. Not only do you get that, but you also get Bluetooth in this soundbar. So you can connect it to your phone, your laptop, whatever you like, through Bluetooth. And because the rear speakers connect wirelessly to the soundbar, and the subwoofer connects wirelessly to the soundbar, no matter what you connect through, even if you're using Bluetooth, you will get sound through all of the speakers. Now, obviously, if you want the surround sound effect, you're best using a direct wired connection. And for that, I would recommend HDMI. A wired connection is just better for surround sound. Bluetooth can't really do surround sound, so you're not going to get the full effect through Bluetooth. So that's the soundbar. And now let's take a look at the rear speakers. So then, here is one of the rear speakers. Quite a nice size, not too big, and it fits quite nice on my shelf behind me. Now, this rear speaker is what's known as the main rear speaker. And the reason for that is if you look on the back, we have a few different connections. So this speaker needs a power input. It's AC, figure 8 cable, the same as what the soundbar uses. And it's also got this output here for a cable that comes in the package. Now, you've also got a connection button here. It's quite hard to see because the connection button is also black, so it kind of blends in, but there is a connection button here to connect it to the soundbar. I've never really had these loose connection, so I've never used that connect button other than during the initial setup. Now the other rear speaker, all you have on the back of that one is just an input. So all you do is the cable that comes in the box, you run out from your main speaker, the one that takes the power, and run it to the second speaker. Now the main speaker also has the amplifier in, so that is what powers these speakers, which is why the main speaker is the one that takes the power cable. And that's it. It's really simple to set up the rear speakers with the soundbar. Now we're going to take a look at the subwoofer, and that is even simpler. Okay then, so here is the subwoofer. Now this is quite a big unit, and it does have a fair bit of weight to it. Not something that one person couldn't manage, but you're not going to want to carry it for a long time because it is pretty heavy. So on the back of this one, you've got a bass port, which is just to let air in and out of the speaker, which just helps to produce the bass basically. Just gives it a more nice sounding effect. You've got a power input, once again figure 8 cable, same kind of cable that the rear speakers and the soundbar take, and a connect button here. Now this connect button you can see slightly better on the sub because it's more grey at the back, but this is the same kind of connect button that you get on the rear speakers, just in case you couldn't see it very well before. So yeah, that's the sub, connects to the soundbar wirelessly, and if you ever lose connection or during initial setup, you can use that connect button right there. So that's the sub. So we've got a soundbar, a sub, and 2 rear speakers which are behind me. So now what we're going to do, we're going to plug them all in, and what we're going to do is we're going to run a quick sound test for you. Now as I say in all my videos where I do a sound test, it is impossible for me to give you a true to life demonstration of the sound quality. It just can't be done through a YouTube video. It just isn't possible. But what I will do is I will try my best, and I will give you a sound demo. Now hopefully it'll give you some sort of idea. As I say, it's not going to be true to life, but I do think you will be quite impressed with the sound of this system once you purchase it and get it home. But one thing to note, and I really do suggest bearing this in mind if you're going to buy this system. This subwoofer here is quite boomy. It does kick out quite a bit of bass, and you're going to notice that when using it. Now if that is something that bothers you, you don't like a lot of bass, you can reduce it, but even reducing it to the lowest, you are still getting quite a lot of bass. So if bass really isn't your thing and you want very, very minimal bass, this soundbar system probably isn't going to be the one for you. But either way, like I say, we'll do a sound test demo. It's not going to be as good as it would be if you were here in the room with me, but hopefully it'll give you some sort of idea. So let's get on with that. Okay then, so we are now ready to begin the sound test. Everything is plugged back in. So the rear speakers are in between where the camera is. So that's roughly where the microphone is placed because the microphone is built into the camera. Now this microphone, ignore, this is not the microphone we're using the one that's built into the camera because this is like a studio grade microphone. It's not really for sound test purposes, so I'll just use the one built into the camera. So the camera is placed in between the 2 rear speakers at the back. You've got the soundbar here at the front, and the subwoofer is placed under the desk. Now please ignore the cables you can see under the desk. I know it's not great, I am working on it. So yeah, now with it being a YouTube sound demo, as I say, I can't give you the full effect as it would be if you were in the room with me, but what can you do? It's YouTube, I'm going to try my best. Now with it being YouTube as well, I'm going to have to play some music that doesn't include any copyright, because otherwise I might have copyright action taken against me on my channel, and that wouldn't be good for any of us, because you wouldn't be able to watch my videos and I wouldn't be able to make videos for you to watch. So yeah, now we've got that out of the way, please wear headphones for the sound test demo. It'll give you a better experience. As I say, it won't be true to life, but it'll be better than if you're just using ordinary speakers. So please wear headphones, and yeah, without any further ado, let's begin. So then, hopefully that has given you some sort of idea to what the sound is like. As I say, it won't be true to life, but it's the best we can do here on YouTube. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you've enjoyed the review. So as I say, the model is the Hisense AX5100G, and with that you'll get the soundbar, the subwoofer and the 2 rear speakers. Now, I do believe there is a model where you just get the soundbar and the subwoofer if you're not interested in the rear speakers, but I'm not exactly sure on the model name of that, so if you're interested in that, you'll have to do your own research. But as far as I know, it's the same as this, the soundbar and subwoofer, you just don't get the rear speakers. But that is as far as I know. I could be wrong, so don't take my word for it. But if you're interested in this model with the rear speakers, you get the soundbar, the wireless sub, the two rear wireless speakers, and it's great. It really is good. But as I say, do bear in mind that subwoofer really is quite boomy. So if you don't want a lot of bass, this probably isn't going to be the one for you. Because even if you reduce the bass to its lowest, you still get quite a bit. So yeah, just do bear that in mind. Now, before we round off today's video, I want to go over the remote control that comes with the soundbar. Now, I don't know how well you can see that, but there it is for you. So on the remote, you've got a power on and off, that's in the top left. And in the top right, you've got an import source selector. So you can press that, choose Bluetooth, auxiliary, HDMI, however you want to connect it. Then underneath you've got a surround button to turn the surround speakers on and off. And you can also control the level that they're at, the volume level that they're at, which I'll explain in a little bit. You've got the Bluetooth button to enable Bluetooth mode and connect to your device and what have you. You've also got EQ, and with the EQ you can control the bass and the treble level to get it sounding how you'd like it. Underneath you've got a circle button with a volume up, a volume down, next track, previous track and pause play. Now that does seem to work with Bluetooth, but that is about it. Like, I've got my computer here connected with a cable, I'm pressing pause play and it's not doing anything. So from my understanding, them controls only work with Bluetooth. Then underneath you've got further bass treble controls, and you've got a what they're calling a dimmer, which is basically the soundbar has a display on it, which if I point the camera down you should be able to see. There we go, you can see, there we go, bring it down a bit more. You can see that display just there on the camera, on the soundbar, sorry. So if we press the dimmer, it just dims the display, and if you bring it right down, it'll go off, and it'll only come back on when you press something on the remote. But we'll bring that back up because I like having the display on so I know what's happening. Yeah. Now, the surround speaker level. Now, that confused me for a good few months of having this soundbar, but I figured out how to do it now. Probably because I didn't read the instructions, I should have. But I did figure out how to do it. So all you do is the surround button, you hold on the remote for a few seconds, then release. It's not done it, give me a minute, I'll do it again. Hold the surround button for a few moments. Sorry, first you have to press the surround button to turn surround off, then press it again to turn surround on, and then I think you hold it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you turn surround off, turn it back on, hold it, and then you will get surround level. So off, on, and then we hold it, and there we go, we've got surround level, and that we can just control with our normal volume buttons. So that's just to adjust the level of your rear speakers between +5 and -5, depending on how loud you want them. I like them full whack, so I go with +5, and then the overall volume we can just control as usual with the soundbar. So that's it, that's how it works, and that's the remote. So back to the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. I do recommend it for most people, other than if you're concerned about the bass. But if you're not, then I would say go right ahead and buy it. I think you're going to be quite impressed with this system. It is really good. And when you're watching a movie connected to your TV, Dolby Atmos, surround sound, it's brilliant. It really is. Things are moving overhead, things are moving from your left ear to your right ear. It is fantastic. when you're watching a Dolby Atmos movie. But that is going to be it for today's video, so I do hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like. If you've got any questions or any concerns, please drop a comment down below and I'll try my best to get back to every one of you. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.